Hello, everyone, and welcome to the California EDD Unemployment Q&A Live with me, Shelly's Millions. Good morning, Linda. Oh, I got new glasses, and these might not work. I might actually have to wear them on my head to read the comments. They're really cute, though. Um, can we anticipate a never-ending cycle of boosters every 6 months? I hope not. How am I doing? Any good movies? Everybody saw Spider-Man, including me. I did it because AMC, which is not where I work, was giving out a free NFT if you were one of the first 86,000 people to purchase a ticket, like with their AMC Stubs membership. And I was one of those 86,000 people, so hopefully that goes correctly. Hi, KAFLA TV. I saw all of the great work that you were doing in the community over the weekend on your Instagram post, so that was awesome to see. Let's talk about EDD payment status switching to disqualified really quickly. If you know that you sent the correct documents over the correct time frame, and when you check on your UI Online account, you see your 2021 payments switch to disqualified, that most likely means that the EDD is going to be sending you a letter letting you know that that your documents did not meet the requirements. But before you appeal that decision, I do recommend calling the EDD and asking to speak to a tier 2 representative, um, so that they can try and fix it for you. A lot of times they are. So I do recommend trying that. Guys, if you haven't already, I'm going to drop a link in one moment to Jenny Silver's book. And I definitely think everyone should check that out. And also, if anybody is dragging their feet, they're wanting to invest in stocks, Webull is currently giving out 5 free stocks when you use my link. So I'm going to drop all of that. And then, of course, my claimer link, which if you do need to call the EDD, it is still hard to get through. Claimer guarantees that you will at least get through to speak to someone. You do still need to allow about 4 hours of hold time, because first you're most likely going to get to that level 1 representative, and then after you speak to them and tell them what's going on, if they have not um if they have not sorry, I got distracted because I pre-read one of the questions. If they've not what? Um oh, once you speak to the tier 2 rep, then you're going to have to tell them what's going on and then ask, sorry, the tier 1 rep, once you initially get in contact with them, you're still going to have to ask to hold to speak to a tier 2 rep who can hopefully actually fix the problem with your disqualified documents without actually having to go through the appeal process. Because the appeal process is really long. They're really far behind on that by about 6 months. And I know more than anything, it seems like most of you guys are just really anxious to be done and over with the EDD. We're not necessarily going to be done and over with the EDD, even the rest of us, and unemployment until after we file our taxes this year. Little Rambo, Jenny Silver and I definitely have a collaboration. I pulled the trigger. She's going to help me, like, kind of with a business plan of my own. I know that's funny because I am going to make a video on a business plan. I just kind of need the kick in the pants to, like, be motivated and get it done. So Jenny Silver and I will have a video that we're shooting together the second week of January. So that is coming. It will not be on unemployment, though. It's going to be kind of like a rebranding for me. I'm excited about it. So yeah. And Linda, in terms of the pandemic and the boosters, it's really hard to say. Obviously, there's like going to be a health disclaimer probably on this video. You've seen some headlines that say that the new variant it's not getting people as sick as other versions. And I don't know if that's true or not. I'm not a scientist. I hope that's true. If it is, that could potentially mean that it's like weakening and that this is actually the start of everything dying out. So then maybe we wouldn't need boosters. Maybe. Alex, Will the PUA program come back in the future? It's only because so many people are independent contractors, and even without a pandemic, there should be something available, something for independent workers. So they're talking about it, the last I heard. I don't know if it's gonna make it into the latest stimulus package that they are trying to pass before the end of the year or not. They are talking about making something more permanent. I will say that even though okay, so a lot of people are like, "We pay into the unemployment system." We don't actually pay into the unemployment system. Our employer does pay taxes, that then go into the unemployment benefits program. But we as individuals, we pay a lot in taxes, but that is not one of the things our tax money is used for. Our tax money that we earn and are taxed on isn't going towards our unemployment benefits. That is paid by our employer. So, if you're your own employer, once something does get set up, if something gets set up for people who are self-employed, then since you're the owner of the business, would the government want to increase taxes? So, I agree that we need unemployment benefits for gig economy workers, independent contractors, business owners, sole proprietors. I believe that we need those benefits available all the time, but are we willing to pay the same percentage of our income towards having those benefits available? And I think anytime you talk about raising taxes, nobody wants to do that. So, I see the need for it, but where is the money going to come from? Right. So that's kind of the element that we need to think of there. Is that most employers pay taxes, employers pay into that system. If you are your own employer, in order to have that cushion, that safety net there for you, would you be willing to pay a higher tax percentage? You guys, I think I'm going to Google really quick on my phone what percentage employer, like a traditional W-2 employer, pays towards unemployment benefits. How much do employers, I put food, do employers pay, my slow typer, into the unemployment system? Unemployment system. I probably should have typed benefits. Okay. And KAFLA TV. Jenny Silver did not write a book on the EDD. She wrote a beautiful children's book. She had it illustrated and it's gorgeous. Okay. Tax rated employers pay a percentage on the first $7,000 in wages paid to each employee in a calendar year. So the first 7,000, that's not a lot. The UI rate and schedule amount of taxable wages are determined annually. New employers, which maybe that would be all of the people that were self employed, if we newly had to pay that tax, new employers pay 3.4% for a period of 2 to 3 years. So that actually might be doable. I would be willing. So, your hope with your self employment is that you make a lot of money, right? That you would make more money than with a traditional job. If you're only paying into it on the first $7,000, that actually doesn't seem like that much to me. And I wonder, they said a percentage. So what's the percentage? That seems doable to me, especially since it's lower the first couple of years. Maybe that is something that people would be willing to do. I'm really curious about your thoughts on that. So leave me a comment in the chat. Would you be willing to pay more taxes on your self employment income if it meant that something like this in the future was permanently set up in place and ready to go and accessible to you whenever you did experience periods of unemployment? Speaking of periods of unemployment, we do have California's latest unemployment rate, which is 6.9%. And I feel like it said it was the October number, but those should have been the November numbers. I will double check on that in a second. I would have expected that to come down much more. we were kind of sitting around 7.9% even in September. September was before or right during when benefits ended for a lot of us. They normally pull the data from the second week in the previous month. So I would have expected that to go down a lot more as benefits ended. Andrew, dropping in to show your support. How am I? You got your third booster shot on Friday. You just felt mildly sick, and today you feel totally normal. I got my booster shot as well. I left work early to do that. And yeah, I felt tired that night. And then the next day I actually had to go to work. Um, it was fine. Okay. Hi, Wahiba. Oh, the 25 people now watching. Please like the video. There's a reason. I have on my Taco Bell hot sauce shirt, and there is a reason, and I'll share that in a second. I wish that it was that I was sponsored by Taco Bell. Hint, hint. I really like Taco Bell. KAFLA. We should collaborate on a book about the EDD. You, me, and Jenny. That would be a New York Times bestseller. We've all lived it. I'm not sure if anybody wants to read about it, but yeah, that would be interesting. Maybe even a collection of short stories about all the horrors people have experienced from the EDD. Mel says you should provide something from 2020 to Osvaldo. Oh, I skipped Osvaldo's. Oh my God. I somehow skipped like a lot of comments. So while I found my place and take a sip of coffee, please like the video. Also, last night I got off work at about 3, ran over something in the freeway, had to wait for a tow truck to get it out. I tried like backing up and I tried driving forward more. It was like a water jug got lodged under my car on the freeway and I saw it, but there were cars on both sides of me. I couldn't like avoid hitting it, got wedged under my car, but I wasn't sure what it was at that time. So I had to wait for the tow truck. Got home at like 5 in the morning last night. So hopefully you all had a better day than I did on that. Osvaldo, I only have proof of income from 12 of 2019, and they are asking for documents from 2020 to 2021. Should I just try to provide proof that I was going to start working, but I couldn't because of the illness? Yes, I mean, don't just ignore it. You need to send what you have that you feel has the best potential of proving that you really were self-employed before the pandemic. They're probably asking for 2020 to 2021 because you applied in either late 2020 or sometime this year. So they do normally ask for the year prior. But if there's a reason why you don't have any proof, not any receipts or business plan or anything from the time period they're asking, definitely explain to them why you're sending something else instead of the time period they're asking for. You want to be factual and you want to say, hey, you asked for this period, but I shut down my business early because of it, or I was switching industries, or whatever your reason is for not having it for the year prior to the start date of your claim. Go ahead and tell them that. Um, Definitely don't do nothing. That's kind of the moral of the story there. Okay. Um, KAFLA TV just says LOL. Good morning, Mel. Yep, collab with Jenny Silver is in the works. Okay, Family Dollar says my dad got the illness. He's okay, thankfully, because he got the booster back in November. Truly scary. If he didn't get that, he could be hospitalized or worse. When will this end? We don't know. I'm so sorry. I'm glad he's doing okay though. Ismail says, what if you go on your UI online and it's still the same? Does that mean I'm okay? It either means you're okay or it means that they haven't had a chance to review your documents yet. And guys, if anybody's tuning in and you haven't recently checked your EDD UI online account, please make sure to do that. We are expecting tax information from them probably by the end of January of 2022. We are going to owe taxes, probably most of us, on some of that money. I have not heard about another forgiveness of any tax amount yet. So I want everybody to make sure that like, even myself, I hadn't logged on in a long time. I don't have to upload any proof of income documents, even though some people who think that they had a regular unemployment claim the whole time, they log on and they're surprised to find out that they do need to upload documents. But I needed to upload my, I needed to update my password. Guys, I just want to show you my new glasses, but they're so cute. But my prescription changed, and now I was starting to get where I had trouble reading with my regular prescription, reading the comments, but now, like, it's undoable, if I keep my glasses on. So my glasses are mostly for distance, but it used to be like I could just wear them all the time and it was fine. I saw everything up close just fine. Now my far away prescription is strong enough that it blurs out the small print. So that's a thing, getting old, interesting. Okay. So, yeah, I'm glad if you have checked your UI online. I encourage everybody to do that, and I'm glad that everything still says paid. Hopefully, that's a good sign. But it could mean that they haven't had a chance to look at your documents yet as well. They'll send you a letter in the mail if your documents do meet the requirements, and it's just a short little sentence they're going to send you. Osvaldo, I was going to start working as a babysitter for my cousin, but because of the whole quarantine, can I just have her write a letter saying that she couldn't hire me because of the stay at home order? Yes, and that would actually be better. Um, you should also have, I would also do the affidavit yourself and explain why you're including a letter from her. She doesn't need to specify that she's a family member either. She can just say that she was planning on hiring you. Um, but maybe she was now staying at home and so she was able to care for her child because she was working from home or whatever her situation was. I do want to caution everyone that the EDD might have follow-up questions for you. There's not a guarantee that even though I made a video with instructions on how to fill out an affidavit because so many of you needed that piece of information, but I do have to caution you that there's not a guarantee that that will be enough to satisfy the questions that the EDD has. So again, if you see disqualified when you log onto your UI online homepage, you do want to call and ask to speak to a tier 2 rep and see if they can fix it for you over the phone. In many, many cases, they can. And even if they tell you that they can't, you may want to give up for that day, but try again on another day to speak to a different tier 2 rep and see if they can help you before filing the appeal. Do make sure that if you need to file an appeal, you get that back within I think it's the 30-day time frame. I don't want you guys to miss that deadline. So get going on that if you know you need to. But at the same time, um, you know, they may have follow-up questions and you may need to go through the appeal process. And even if you fill out the affidavit and everything, there's not a guarantee that they're going to accept it. But don't just you have to try. And if the affidavit is your last resort, if that's all you have, then yes, please send that in. Okay, Siegel, good morning. The variant. If we're put in lockdown again, will the wages I made since early September be enough to qualify for a new benefit year and claim? Oh, let's hope that that does not happen. Um, September, October, December. First of all, I think that they wouldn't start counting September's wages until January of 2022. How things are written now, you would also need to be past your original benefit year. Most of us probably are if we weren't put on a DNCP, deferred new claim payment program. Then yes, you're probably past your benefit year. And then you would also have needed to make at least $1,300 in your highest quarter. So it depends on how much you made in your highest earnings quarter. And you would need to make sure that, like, if that happened right now, they wouldn't be looking at September yet in the base period. You could potentially ask them to look at an alternate base period, But oh my goodness, I hope that that does not happen because that is going to be a mess. There are a lot of people who were on new claims, and those claim balances are just hitting zero and they're still within their original benefit year. So my concern, I don't want to say fear, I don't want to make you guys worried. My concern would be that if they did want to give benefits again to the self-employed, even, right? There's nothing in place right now for anyone who's self-employed. Um, so for the people who are self-employed, for the people who have a $0 claim balance, but their benefit year doesn't end until sometime in 2022, right now they would not be eligible for benefits if everything were to have to shut down again. So I don't want to see that happen. And um, then you would need the earnings requirement. So my concern would be that it would need to pass legislation on the federal level, and maybe it could be passed in the state level, but all of those things take time, right? So again, we would be looking at all these obstacles. So I really hope that doesn't happen. Human in training. Thank you so much for the donation, and it's so good to see you in the chat. Thank you for the cute little snowman and Christmas trees. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas to those who celebrate it. Yeah, and guys, I traditionally celebrate Christmas, so if I say Merry Christmas and you guys don't celebrate it, please just know that's my way of good holiday tidings to you guys. I don't know what everybody celebrates. But whatever you celebrate, even if you don't celebrate, I just hope you are having a good winter. It's not officially winter just yet. Oh, and one of you asked about movies. Yeah, Spider-Man. Spider-Man is the one this week. Okay, more of your questions. You hate the EDD with a fiery passion. Like this fire hot sauce. Yeah, most of us do. Um, we just want to be done with it. That's why I'm hoping that most of you guys do not have to do the appeal. And yeah, rebranding a little bit. I do want to start talking about finance. Guys, work has been so insane though, especially with Spider-Man. I probably don't even need to say anymore. That was incredibly successful. You guys got to like that is a kind of movie where it's fun to see it with a crowd. It is. People are going to be like cheering and clapping and oohing and awing, and that's definitely and you just want to see all that action on the big screen, and you want that great sound, and all of those elements make this such a great movie to see in the theater on a live screen. But if you're concerned about crowds, these next 2 weeks are going to be pretty busy. So keep that in mind if you're going to the movies, that you probably will be seeing it with a fairly large crowd. But also on Spider-Man, I feel like you have to see it opening weekend before other people spoil it for you on the internet. Wahiba. I'm good. If someone has to repay back and get EDD 1099 to file a tax return, should they file or no? I think most of us are going to be required to file. Let's see. Now, again, if you've made any money from self-employment, if you have $400 net, you do need to file taxes. I'm going to see if you file taxes if you make less than. So normally if you make less than $12,400, usually, unless you're self-employed, and then if you're self-employed, if you have more than $400 net, you are supposed to file those taxes. A lot of people got confused on that, and that's why you guys are like, Shelly, we need to send in the affidavit because we didn't send in our taxes. A lot of people were confused about that because yeah, I Google it, and the very first thing that comes up is but it also says that it depends on your filing status and age. In 2020, for example, the minimum for single filing status, if under age 65, is 12,400. If your income is below that threshold. And then they use that nice vague terminology. You generally do not need to file a federal tax return. But the exception to that, so it would not be a general situation if you had $400 in net self-employment, then you would need to file taxes. Anyway, so my point in sharing that $12,400 number is Guys, I gotta try and count the number of weeks that we potentially got that $300. So give me 1 second there. 1, 2, 4, 8, 12, 16, 21, 25, um, 30, 34, 35. So somebody that got unemployment benefits all year, 300 times, oh my God, 25. I already forgot. That would be $7,500. And let's say you got the minimum PUA, which would be 167 times 25 plus 7,000. You actually might not have to file taxes because, okay, so I'm getting that 25 weeks, which is how many is that right? I feel like I didn't count the full number of weeks. Anyway, I'm getting that that would only be $11,175, which if that was all you made, then technically you wouldn't necessarily be required to file a federal tax return. Usually there's benefits though in doing that. Like, for example, if when you get your 1099-G from the EDD, it says that you made less than $12,400 and that was your only source of income in all of 2021. We're in 2021 now. We're almost to 2022. Anyway, um, let's say though that you had been checking the box to have taxes withheld and you didn't necessarily owe taxes. There's just a lot of benefits to filing, even if you don't legally have to. For example, to get the Golden State stimulus, you needed to have filed a 2020 tax return. So, they are talking about the possibility that California might have funds to do a true Golden State stimulus 2 payment. Maybe they'll call it the Golden State stimulus 2022. There might be funding in the budget left to do that. So, but if the requirement is to do a tax return, just do a tax return. And then if you had been having taxes withheld out of each of your unemployment checks and you make less than 12,400, you would get the money that you paid in taxes back. So there may be some benefits to filing taxes even if you haven't had met the legal requirement for filing. I hope that makes sense. And also keep in mind I'm not a tax professional. I do love money. Yes, I really said that. Like it fascinates me, right? Like I want to know like my company, even though we're doing well, I'm like, did we get a PPP loan? Like are we getting discounts on the power? How much did we renegotiate the rent? Like what kind of did we end up having to pay rent to the building like for that year we were gone? Like I like to know that stuff. So I do research that kind of thing like for fun because I'm a weirdo. Hi Bonnie. Thank you, thank you. It's gonna be an amazing collaboration, this one. Hopefully, we will have content for both our channels. Um, but yeah, she's gonna be the star in this. Yeah, she's gonna help me rebrand. I'm excited about that, and you guys should check out her children's book, which I have linked in the pinned comment at the top of the chat. Also, if you see a disqualified payment and you need to call the EDD, I've got that claimer link up there if you haven't already had to use them. Mel, you got your booster. Hopefully, you're feeling good. Ba, 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 ba. KFLA-TV, there are no UI PUA revisions in the Build Back Better plan, not that I'm aware of. And guys, KFLA-TV works for an assembly member. Like he has a lot of things going on. It's pretty amazing. But he is like I'm not sure if you're an intern or a volunteer, if you're a paid intern, but definitely you've had some really great information. I thought they were putting that in there, or I thought that they were talking about unemployment reform in there or designating money for improving unemployment benefits. And I thought this was very early on, though, and I know that they've really trimmed back the budget. So maybe this is something that got cut. I thought that they were talking about finding a way to permanently have unemployment benefits for the self-employed like covered. I've at least seen news articles on it. It may have been cut. They may not be talking about that. But hopefully they put something in place soon. Mel says, my friend uploaded documents and the affidavit on Wednesday and they got it notarized as well. Did you try getting it notarized for free at your bank? Guys, the EDD, they did put in writing that you don't need to have your affidavit notarized. That was in one of their news releases. So they put that in writing. So I can quit saying, and my source says you don't have to have it notarized, because the EDD has now put that in writing that you don't need to have it notarized, but it can help. I always thought you had to pay for notary services, but a friend of mine hopped in chat and said that often if you go to your bank, whoever your checking or savings account is with, that often they will notarize it for you. I will say that although I still love Yada Bank, they don't have any physical locations. So if you guys took my recommendation and opened an account with them, although I only recommend them really for savings, quite honestly, but like if your bank is only online, and there are several banks that are online only, then there's no location to walk into to ask if they can notarize something for free for you. Okay. And Mel, I hope your friend's documents get accepted. I was thinking about our chat afterwards about how you were like, Shelly, I had all that information. I just didn't think you needed to know their address. And I was like, good point. I thought that was kind of funny. KFLA, as a self-employed individual, even though PUA benefits have expired, you can pay into a UI fund to ensure yourself benefits if you're unable to perform your self-employment. Do you know what that program is called by any chance? So that is good to know. So if you're self-employed, you can help, fund that. My guess, I don't know this, is that that might be a further tax break as well, right? A lot of times, like if you contribute to a 401k or an IRA, those are tax breaks. So my guess would be that if you're kind of putting money into a system to ensure that you have something to fall back on if something like this were to happen again, there could potentially be a tax break for that. It wouldn't surprise me. I'm not as familiar with that. It's just I know a lot of those programs do offer tax saving benefits as well. Not sure about that specific one because I'm not even sure what that specific one is called, but that is good to know. Is it type of insurance that you can purchase? Anyway, Debbie, let us have a movie theater update. What is hot? What is not? Crowd report. Okay, something else, right? And I'm not just sure if everybody just had limited funds and came out to see Spider-Man. There is a movie called Nightmare Alley, and the poster is beautiful for it. It's a Guillermo del Toro film, and he did Pan's Labyrinth. He's an amazing director. I think he directed it. He's amazing at movies. So I feel like that movie would be really good, but it didn't do as well as I would have expected. So that's interesting. There's a film called Lost Daughter, which is Maggie Gyllenhaal's directorial debut. People are really like that. I think she was nominated for a Golden Globe. It is like high Oscar season. This last week or so, you're going to see a lot of really great films come into theaters that have the potential of being nominated for Oscars. And guys, I do talk about this kind of stuff because I have my regular job right now. So I like sharing that and we are busy, busy, busy. And we're expecting to be busy even more. I think KFLA, you're saying it's around 2%. So the 2% would be the percentage that you would potentially pay to give yourself some security if you're self-employed and you want to cover yourself in case you're not able to work, so that you would have those benefits set up and available for you even though you don't have a traditional W-2. Again, neither myself nor KAFLA are tax professionals, I don't believe. So 2%. So that's $2 out of every 100 you make. Do you know if there's a cap? Because that wouldn't be very much money on 7,000 annually. That seems like a really good deal to me. I should incorporate the movies into the rebranding. I want to keep that separate. And plus, I don't feel like my movie reviews are that good. I don't get a chance to see everything, but I did. I think I've only seen 2 movies in the theater since everything reopened. And those 2 things are Bo Burnham's Inside, which was on Netflix, but that was fun to see in the theater as well, and then Spider-Man. And I saw Spider-Man again because AMC was so smart and promoted it by giving out that NFT, and a lot of their investors, like their Wall Street Bets investors, the Main Street retail investors, regular people like us, um, they're interested in things like cryptocurrency and NFTs, which stands for non-fungible tokens. It's really weird art. I bought one for $30. I'm totally going to make a video on that. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Don't really think it's going to be worth money, but who knows? Maybe the Spider-Man one won't be worth money either, but I'll be able to look back and be like, I got into NFTs. I guess not as early as some people that are really making money on it, but we'll see. I'm curious about that. I'm curious about everything money related. Ba, 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 ba. Well, he was saying, please like the video if you haven't already. Mel, and guys, I'm at 1111 in the comments. Osvaldo should try and provide something from 2020. They did the same thing to my friend. If you have something from 2019, it should work too. Yeah, if you don't give them the dates that they're asking for, make sure to explain why that is and why what you're submitting is relevant and what they should use. But keep it short and factual. Hi, Ben. You don't want to get a booster because you got so sick last time. Maybe I should just ignore it. Ugh, that is a very personal decision. Um, it is hard. Maybe you got the Moderna, and I have heard that Moderna is worse. Matthew, oh, you're very welcome. Wahiba skipped your question 1107. Did I get it? Uh-oh. Um, okay, yeah, I was just lagging. So I did get that question. That was about whether you should file taxes, and I would, just because that seems to be the requirement for a lot of other programs that are potentially going to be available, like the Golden State stimulus, right? They needed a tax return in order to do that. Okay. Isidro says you recently reopened your claim, but your last $450, does it automatically reopen and add more money? It does not. And actually, I was talking about this a little bit earlier. If your benefit year isn't over, so you're just now running out of your balance. So let's say that your new claim started September of 2021. Your benefit year wouldn't end until September of 2022. So you actually, once your claim balance hits zero, unless something changes, and I like big, like we had to shut down and the federal government changes the guidelines, um, you won't even be able to try and file a new claim until your benefit year is over. So once you receive your last payment, unfortunately, that's probably going to be it for a while. Even if you make more money, even if you have attachment to the workforce, because in general, the unemployment benefits program, even though your benefit year is an entire year, the benefits are only payable at their maximum amount for a total of 26 weeks or half a year. So they're not designed to cover a whole year of being unemployed. That was special because of the circumstances we were in. Okay. Osvaldo's asking, should I just upload the W-2 and pay stubs? That's all I have from my last employer. I tried calling them too, but they don't answer. Yeah, upload that plus a statement of why you're supplying that instead of the time frame that they asked for. Just say just say didn't work after this. This is what I have. I was planning on going back from that to that employer. Um, but yeah, you might need to explain a little bit more about all of that. They may have more questions. Ben, when will we get our 1099-G tax forms from the EDD? Usually by the end of January. And again, you do want to watch your UI Online account. You want to start checking that. There may be a questionnaire that asks, do you want to receive your tax information online or in the mail? I will say that last year I selected online because I thought that my tax documents would be ready faster. And then everybody that went in and manually selected that they wanted to receive it in the regular mail, they got their tax return information faster than I did choosing online. So, um, generally, I would say it's easier to get your tax information online, but at least last year with the EDD, people who got it in the regular mail seemed to get that information faster. Okay, Matthew, you're very welcome. Wahiba got yours. Hi, Sugar Sprinkles. Good morning. Um, I always laugh at Ben's screen name that I cannot say out loud, otherwise I'd be in trouble. Isidro, yep, we got yours. Um, yeah, write an affidavit. Yes, 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 yes. Um, yes, please let me know, Mel, what they say about your friend's documents. Hopefully they accept them. If for any reason your friend sees the payment switch to disqualified, which I am hoping they don't, I do recommend calling the EDD first before you do the appeal and ask for a tier 2 rep. But I'm hoping that none of that has to happen. And you're so welcome for the help. I really enjoyed doing this. Put the camera back. Oh, you want to see the shirt. So this is like official Taco Bell merchandise. Let's talk about this real quick. Guys, this is one of my favorite money saving tips, right? Maybe I'm just chunky. I really like Taco Bell. But anyway, if you're in line like I was in the Taco Bell drive-thru and you're about to order yourself a combo like I was, um, if you also buy a $25 Taco Bell gift card, so you're going to go through the drive-thru and this is what you're going to say. You're going to say, "Hi, do you have that promo where if I buy a $25 gift card, I get a free combo?" And they should say yes. And then you're going to say, "Okay, I'd like a $25 gift card. Can I choose any combo I want?" And again, they should say yes. And then you just tell them like what combo you want. The combo is free because you bought a $25 gift card. And the like with inflation and everything, fast food prices have gone up. Like I feel like a combo is worth like, I don't know, $10.15 now. So basically, I'm doubling the amount of Taco Bell I can get. And I know that that's so cheap, and the gift card is 100% for me. I'll probably put my mom up to purchasing one. So yeah, and I just like this is how crazy I am with it. There's not like a limit. Like if I go to Taco Bell again before the promotion ends, I think it ends Christmas Day. But if I go to Taco Bell again between now and Christmas, and I got to be honest, there's a good chance that I might go to Taco Bell once more before, I'm going to get another $25 gift card and I'm going to get another free combo. So essentially, yeah, I'm going to eat for free at Taco Bell. Some of you are, I'm sure, in the comments going to be like, "You couldn't pay me to eat at Taco Bell," but I like them a lot, obviously, since I've got on the Taco Bell hot sauce sweatshirt. Okay. Ba, 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 ba. Everybody's saying good morning to everybody. We all kind of know each other now, which is awesome. KFLA TV. EDG just announced that they'll be cold calling PUA recipients who were DQ'd after uploading PUA documents. This call will give them an opportunity to explain to Tier 2 agents and clarify. Okay, and that's amazing. So while that's good news and it acknowledges that maybe there's some sort of issue, I kind of would recommend still preemptively calling, because what if you miss the call? And sometimes the EDD, they say they're going to do things and they have the best intentions, but they just sent out the requirement to 1 million people. It was literally a million people. Are they going to, and I don't know what, hopefully it's not that many people that got disqualified. I know based on a poll that I placed on my community page that a lot of people haven't opened their UI online account recently, and or they have not uploaded any documents yet. So you guys are dragging your feet a little bit, and I want to encourage you guys to get that done as fast as possible. Check that off your list before we get to the new year. And don't dilly-dally is my point. But I would preempt, if you see your payments switch to disqualified for 2021, I would just call them. That way you're not, a lot of you guys are worried about the EDD, right? So first you're going to be worried about seeing the disqualified payments, and then you're going to be worried about, when is the EDD going to call? Am I going to miss the call? Is it really a scammer or not? And at least if you dial in, like, you know that you've called the EDD, you don't have to worry about the numbers or anything. It is supposed to show up as the 800-300-5616 number, I believe, when they call you, and they're supposed to know your account number. But just please be careful. But that is good inside information. Thank you for sharing that, KAFLA. Um, Matthew, and again, Human in Training, thank you so much for the donation. I'm at 1124 in the comments. Matthew, I hope to see it this week or next. Spider-Man, yes. I'll try and find a discount day, guys. You guys know I love saving money. A lot of movie theaters, especially since I just shared with you the Taco Bell tip, a lot of movie theaters do really big discounts on Tuesday. I think AMC it's $6.75 to go on a Tuesday, which is great. I know other movie theaters are $7 on Tuesdays. So yeah, see it on a discount day. And plus, a Tuesday should be a little slower than a weekend. Okay, Osvaldo. So in my affidavit, I should include the reason why I'm providing documents from 2019 and how I was going to start a job but couldn't because of the pandemic. Yes, as long as it's just short and factual. So my example was, um, if you had lack of childcare. I made a video with a step-by-step process of writing an affidavit. I would just say whatever the facts are, but keep it short. Don't go into crazy detail. Explain it to them as if they're a 5-year-old, because you want them to know why you're sending 2019 instead of 2020, and you want them to accept it. Don't bog them down with details. You don't know if it could be somebody from Kentucky that's reading through the information. It's most likely going to need to be a human reading that information, not just the computer. They're getting a million of these, and they're going to need to go through each one. So just keep it simple and factual. But yeah, if you're not submitting the dates that they requested, you do need to explain why. And if that's because you worked for an employer, because you mentioned W-2. So did you work for an employer and then you quit to get your own business off the ground? Y Yes, you need to tell them that, and then a little bit about what your business was, why you weren't able to start it due to the illness. And with that, if you have any business plans, if you have any receipts, any other information that substantiates that you were going to legitimately start a business, that would be good. Because I've mentioned in the past that I am very naughty. I think Jenny Silver's probably hopefully going to help get on my tail about this when we meet up, for her to help me do a little bit of rebranding. I have one business credit card. I only have one thing billed to it, and that's QuickBooks. I have a lot of other business expenses. It's all jumbled together. It is a mess, right? So the EDD wanted like a business bank account, even though I guess now Shelly's Millions, my business, has existed since March 28th of 2020. I wouldn't be able to provide them bank statements that's from a business only account, but I do have a business license. But my business license, I didn't know I needed it. It's on the outside of this room, so that before you even enter the blue room, my office, my studio, whatever you want to call it, I have that permit on the door. And that's in case the tax people ever ask, or in case I get audited, I could be like, look, yes, this room is 100% used for business. I've got the business permit on the door before you even enter. But notice I said March 28th of 2020. That's when I started the channel. I became unemployed on March 15th of 2020 when I got furloughed from my job. So even though I can submit a business permit, it wouldn't, if all I would have had was my self-employment, my channel, Shelly's Millions, I wouldn't have been able to provide that business permit before my claim started. Does that make sense? So try and submit anything else that you have, receipts for anything you purchased for the business, a business plan, and an affidavit. And I'm wondering if you quit your job to be self-employed, or if you got let go and you just decided, F this, I want to be self-employed, whatever your circumstances are. Okay, Shooter says, what if you never received an email or a letter about sending in proof of employment or self-employment? Well, that would be a very good thing. And then hopefully that means that you don't need to worry about any of this. But do keep checking your UI online just to make sure that there's not any other actions that you need to take on your unemployment claim. Liz, Liz Clayman's whistle. I like it. People should be buying AMC stock right now before the stock squeezes. Spider-Man and The Matrix are going to break records and push the stock up over $100 a share when the fourth quarter earnings are reported. Okay. Well, one, I agree. Let's talk about stock for a little bitty bit. So, one, if you sign up for Webull and you make a deposit of any amount using my link, you get 5 free stocks. And guys, if you're already on Robinhood, why not just get 5 free stocks? They could be worth up to over $8,000. So, give yourself the gift of learning to invest. Now, a lot of people really like AMC. I don't work for AMC, but I do work in movies. I do think that the grosses on Spider-Man and The Matrix they are breaking records. I don't know if that will push up the stock price, right? None of us truly know. Um, we have our own opinions. I would fight you tooth and nail on thinking that just 2 movies this close to the end of the year would provide earnings, would put them in profitability, just with those 2 movies. And of course, there's been other movies, but it's been a very, very bad year for movies. Keep in mind, there's added cost this year due to extra cleaning protocols because of the pandemic in many cities and states because of the great resignation. People don't want to work minimum wage jobs anymore. They don't want to work a job where they're not at home with their families on Thanksgiving, on Christmas, unless they're fairly compensated for it. So it's possible that AMC is paying their employees higher wages and or that they're not paying their employees higher wages and they're experiencing high turnover. When businesses have periods of high turnover, that means that you have to train these people, right? When you train people, you usually bring in a higher level employee, somebody that's probably been there a while, making more money, maybe they're a supervisor, and then you're paying this higher level employee and the trainee. Like if on a normal day, you could just pay the higher employee to do the entire job, but now you're paying double people. One of them's a higher paid person to pay the new person who may not stick around because everybody's participating in this great resignation. Higher cleaning cost, perhaps higher cost for employees and employee training. Um, Utilities, the cost of utilities have gone up, right? Inflation, the cost to purchase the concession goods have gone up thanks to inflation. Movie theaters only keep about 50% of the box office gross. We make all of our money off concessions. Are people purchasing as many concessions? Actually, on that one, I feel like everybody is. I feel like actually people are excited to go back to the movies and that they're buying a lot of concessions. Also with AMC, they offer the Stubs movie going program. That's what got me, right? I wanted that NFT. Um, which great promotion on Aaron's part. Aron, I think is the CEO of AMC. So great promotion on his part, especially to the retail investors. But that promotion probably cost money. Um, I just don't know if they're gonna be profitable. Anyway, they did rope me back in to buying my Stubs membership, or A-List, I think it's called. And I used to have A-List. I loved it. It's sort of like Movie Pass. You pay $24.99 a month and you can go see as many movies as you sorry, not as many movies as you want. 3 movies a week for that amount of money. They're paying the filmmakers the full retail price on those movies, but if somebody were to see 12 movies a month, what does that break down to? Like $3? 3 No, not even. Oh, wait, yeah. It might be $6 that they're actually making, and then they would have to give the distributor, like, a full price ticket, sometimes could be more. They may not be profitable is what I'm saying. I would not necessarily expect their actual earning, I wouldn't expect them to have earnings. I would expect them to be in the negative. Final answer on that from Shelly. Right. Oh, not financial advice. That's what Kevin always says. Also, from me, not financial advice. But that's my opinion on AMC. I don't think they're going to show a profitable fourth quarter. Maybe next year. We'll see. The buildings are building rent is expensive. Utilities are expensive. Training employees, paying employees is expensive. It's a lot, and I don't know if 2 movies are gonna save it. Also, Matrix is getting terrible reviews. Terrible. People are saying it is not good. So I think people will come see that maybe opening day. The film opens Wednesday, and then they're gonna tell their friends that it's not good and don't go see it, and then people aren't gonna see it. Also, with cases of the illness increasing, even though I think Spider-Man's really fun to see in a packed theater, is a packed theater where you guys wanna go right now? I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, I don't expect AMC to be profitable. That's my opinion. Mel, you did hear that you might get another stimulus for California. So the Golden State stimulus and the Golden State stimulus 2 were not available just because of the illness, right? I'm trying not to say it because one of my videos got flagged for, I don't know why really it got flagged. I always state that these things are my opinions, but anyway, that money wasn't necessarily available just because of the illness. It became available because we had a surplus. We had more money in our budget than we used. I don't know how they managed that, quite honestly, but they are anticipating a surplus for this fiscal year. And if they have a surplus, they could decide that they were going to do another stimulus. But we don't know if they will. They could use those funds for other things. They have 2 years to decide how they're going to spend the surplus money. And many, many people think that the only reason that Gavin Newsom chose to use 2020's fiscal year money to give us a Golden State stimulus is because he was up for that reelection. So a lot of people are speculating that since Gavin Newsom is not up for reelection anymore, he's not going to give the money to the people that matter, basically. I don't know a nicer way to say it. So yeah, I said what I said. Anyway, okay. Um, in theory, it goes to another program, like, right? This is why I said I don't ever want to be a politician. Some of you guys are like, Shelly, you should be the governor. You should run for president. I don't want to. These are really hard decisions. I have such a bleeding heart. I want to help everybody. And politicians, they have to choose. What if the money is, I don't know, to like it broke my heart when my mom needed hearing aids, right? She gets them through the VA, but like they weren't working and I always like want to help my mom. So, I would love to send her to like an independent ear doctor. Her hearing aids are working better, by the way, now. If she's in here, mom, you should let them know. But like I want her to have the best of the best, usually when it comes to medical care. But hearing aids, would I want the VA, and I don't know if that's a federally funded program or not, but anyway, would I want my mom not to get her free hearing aids from the VA in order for us to get unemployment benefits? Like, that's such a hard choice. Or would I want to take away the funding that made KAFLA, the organization that he works with, be able to run their food bank? A lot of times it's volunteers, but they have trucks that pick up and deliver the food. They probably pay somebody to run and coordinate the program, even if the people handing out the food are volunteers. I wouldn't want to not feed hungry people in order to, well, I would, but I want to help everybody. And there's not there. That's the problem, right? That's why every year Congress has to talk about the budget because there's not enough funding for all these programs. So then they have to talk about, well, where are we going to get the funding? Where can we cut? Where can we try and save? Right. So that's the dilemma. And I don't envy that. Okay. Isidro. Oh, we talked about Isidros. Mel, you went to the UPS. Oh, to get it notarized. Michelle, you just got on. Not sure if this was covered. By the way, I'm at 11:35 in the comments. Will there be a tax break on the taxes for unemployment for 2021? Not that I have heard of. KAFLA also, KAFLA TV was in earlier. He runs a Korean channel that teaches people about unemployment. Two, he works for an assembly member. I'm not sure if it's a volunteer capacity, but he was just on a meeting. And he actually, if he's still in here, might have better information than I do on that. I haven't heard anything, though, on that. I haven't seen any headlines. I have not seen that being discussed this year. So I haven't heard about any tax breaks because we got unemployment benefits, which is unfortunate. It's like they forgot about us. That's dead to them. And because they are showing like that consumer spending is okay and that the unemployment rate, I put that in air quotes because we know that they're not really counting everyone who's not working. They're counting only a certain percentage, and the reporting methods aren't necessarily the best. But because on paper those numbers look good, out of sight, out of mind. Mel, you got your Moderna booster with no side effects, no fever, just sore arm for your husband as well. Okay, so my mom was in the services, right? Then when she was younger. She told me to like move your arm a lot, like, do like arm exercises. Not with the arm you didn't get the shot in, but why not do both? She said that in the service they used to like give them a lot of like vaccines all at once. She said they went down the line. She said you didn't even really know what you're getting. They just shot you in an arm down the line, gave you multiple on the same day, then made you play basketball. And I don't know if this is true or not, but I always move my arm like a wild person, like a lot. Like if I feel it getting sore, it's more sore for a few minutes, but I move my arm around. Plus, like, this is obviously not science backed. I'm like, ooh, this is helping it get through my bloodstream. I don't even actually know if it goes in your bloodstream. I don't know what the science behind this is, but I move my arm around. I'm like, ooh, it's getting it going through my system, and then my arm doesn't hurt as bad, I think. I don't know. I moved my arm around like a crazy person after the shot. So, fun story. Miss J. Ellis, you were cut off on 9/4 and still looking for work. Will EDD reopen people's cases again? No, unfortunately, those programs expired and they ended completely on 9/4. So there's not a path to get more benefits right now. I'm really sorry. I hope you find work soon. Okay, Andrew says, same booster shot, very mild side effects, totally manageable. That is good to know. Oh, Mel wants to know, this is a great question, what you should ask the tier 2 rep if you check online and you see that your PUA documents were not accepted, and you would see that by seeing that your 2021 payments have switched to disqualified, or if you get a letter in the mail that tells you that they weren't accepted and that you need to appeal. You would say, "Hi, can you please look at my documents again? I believe that what I sent you was on the list of acceptable documents. I believe that it should meet the requirements. What else do I need to send? I'm hoping that you can help me and that I don't need to go through the appeal process, because I believe that what I sent you should substantiate my claim. It should prove that I was eligible for a claim." So that's what I would tell them. Super sweetly as well. Ricky. Soups. Hi, Andy. Ricky says EDD appeal was, oh, that must say that. I think that's missing an N. Does that say it was won? I hope so. If it does say that you won your appeal, I'm really happy for you, and thank you for letting us know that. Maria, I filed a new claim 11/24/2021. I got disqualified. It says I didn't perform work during the quarter of 11/10/2020 to 11/13/2021. I worked on 9/27 and got laid off on 11/24 of 2021. So did you make, first of all, so if you applied right now, they probably only look, so if you applied on 11/24, so let's look at the base period. You might need to ask them to use an alternate base period. You also need to make sure that that you made at least $1,300 in the time you were back to work, but let's check that base period. So you might just need to try and file again now that it's December. So the base period that they're using, if you applied in, okay, I'm going to try to make this as big as possible to explain this. And I have a video on this. Please, I hope this is going the right way. So in the white here is the date that you applied. So October, November, and December, they're counting from July of 2020 to June of 2021. So even if you apply this month, they're not counting any wages in the base period yet. They're not counting anything that you earned at the end of September. Now, there is something called an alternate base period. So, hold on, let me make sure this is correct. If you actually, it looks like you would need to wait until January to file. If you apply in January, February, March, and this is the alternate base period though. Well, sorry. Let's back up. If you ask them to use the alternate base period, it will include October of 2020 to September of 2021. So, but you only started on 9/27 and you probably didn't get paid until like the first week of October. So, the EDD in terms of W-2 wages counts when the week you get, no, it counts the week you earn it. But they're not going to have those wages on file. Like you wouldn't have gotten paid until October. So that's going to mess that up. So you're not going to show any earnings when the EDD calculates. Now, if you were to apply in January, so you can try reapplying in January, and I'm back to the regular standard base period, they call it. If you apply in January, then they would be looking at October of 2020. So not even this year, October 2020 through September of 2021. And then again, you're only going to have like 3 days of wages even in September of 2021. But if you apply in January and they use the alternate base period, which they should do automatically, then they would be using January of 2021 through December of 2021. So basically, you're not going to have enough wages until January. So maybe try applying again in January and asking them to use that alternate base period. But yeah, so right now you wouldn't be eligible. And guys, I got new glasses, but I can't see written text in them. But what do you think in general? I feel like they look better in person, and then like when I have my mask on, I feel like they fit me better. Otherwise, I feel like they're kind of clunky for my face. But let me know. Kind of like them. But I can't read your comments, so that's why I keep putting them on my head. Okay, so Maria, I hope that answered your question. I know that was kind of a long answer, but I hope that explained it. Okay, Tis says, what are my thoughts on Justinian the Great's I have no idea. I don't know what that even means. I'm not great at history. Did I decide on my Christmas live? I haven't. I'm bad at decision making lately. One of the reasons why I'm going to be working with Jenny Silver, and I want to be around other people that are like really getting their hustle on. And we all know that Jenny Silver has hustled a lot for us during all of this. She's made consistently, I don't think she's still making 2 videos a day, but she's posting almost every day still. And during the height of everything, was posting 2 videos a day. Also, what kind of BS is that there was enough wrong with the EDD to make 2 videos a day? That's it's not okay, EDD. Hi, Rich DM. I hope you caught my thoughts on AMC this morning. I'm good, and how are you? You didn't understand what KTVA was explaining about EDD calling. Okay, so what KAFLA TV was saying is that both Jenny Silver and I have been recommending that if you submit your documents to the EDD to prove proof of work, and then you log onto your UI online account and you see that the payments, moved to disqualified, that we're recommending that you call the EDD, right? Which is an incredibly frustrating experience. And I can see why a lot of people wouldn't want to call the EDD. So either you can't get through or you have to pay, which to use Claimer, which I do have the link in the description above. But nobody wants to hold that long, and no one wants to pay, right? I get it. I'm in the same boat. I like saving money. I don't really like paying, but I also don't like the frustration of just sitting on hold, dialing over and over again and not getting through. So what he's saying is that the EDD did just announce that they will be calling people who switched to disqualified to notify them and to kind of talk to them and try and figure out if they can skip the appeal process. They probably figured out that they would, like, if they don't follow up with people, that the appeals are going to be backed up by like 2 years. I don't know. I'm guessing. Right now, the appeal process is backed up 6 years. I said, not 6 years, 6 months. Oh my God. Let me have a sip of coffee. You guys like the video, even though I just said 6 years instead of 6 months. With the EDD, it wouldn't surprise me if we're still sorting all this mess out in 6 years. It's half a joke. Hi, Andy. Okay, so yeah, so the EDD might call you if your documents don't meet the requirements. But I'm saying, and that's good, and for some people that may relieve some of the stress of calling the EDD or spending the money to call the EDD, whereas for others, it might create more stress waiting to see if the EDD is going to call you. So if you notice your status switched to disqualified on any of your 2021 payments, I think my advice is still going to be to call the EDD. And even though I always talk about Claimer and I link them and they work, my tips for calling for free are Tuesday through Saturday, 8 a.m. through 8:30, or later in the afternoon from 2:30 to 4. They are still open 7 days a week, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sundays, there's rumors that tier 2 representatives don't work. Monday, everybody's calling because they just, certified Sunday and they had issues, and they've heard the rumors that tier 2 reps don't work on Sunday, so they wait to call on Monday. So Tuesday through Saturday are better days. Andy, I do. What's going on with work? Yeah, I hope that everything will be fine. But also, if it's not, then I think that that's a sign that it was whatever happens is meant to be. Okay, guys, so I went to that Tony Robbins thing, right? And I don't know how I feel about a lot of it. It's kind of motivationally, right? It's also, I don't know. But one of the things that they said is try and shift your mindset from thinking this is happening to me to this is happening for me. Like what's the lesson? What's the takeaway if something were to go wrong with your job, which of course I'm hoping that it wouldn't, but if it does, is that because something better is right around the corner, you know? That was kind of like one of my big takeaways from that. Okay, Ricky, you won your appeal and you haven't the slightest idea of funds. You tried getting a tier 2 on the phone. Your case was heard 12/7. You received the decision on 12/10. No wages from the same company added from Iowa in the same quarters. Why the trouble? It sounds like, so are you from Iowa or are you in California? I know more about California. I know that anytime there's out of state wages, it gets tricky. I know that even though you found out you won your appeal, which is great, it can still take quite a lot of time to actually get those funds into your account. I haven't reached out to my EDD contact in a little while, so let me ask them that. How long after I got to write it down word for word. How long after winning your appeal will you actually get paid? And I've done polls on that and just asked people. You guys know I was moderating one of the Facebook unemployment groups for a while. People's timeframes were different on that, anywhere from, I would say, 30 days after getting the letter all the way to they won their appeal and it's 6 months later, and then the payment switched to disqualified for another reason. So I've really heard, the whole run of things. Hopefully for you, you will get your payment within 30 days of receiving that notice. Anthony, in 2021, did we have to pay tax on PUA received in 2020? That's going to be different for everyone based on how much you made in total. So for me, well, I didn't get PUA, but I did need to, even though they forgave $10,200, because of all the other money that I made from my job before I got furloughed, from YouTube, from like I had to pay taxes. So I'm not sponsored by Webull, but every time I mention get your 5 free stocks with Webull, I get free stocks too. Like it's like you get 5 free stocks, I get 5 free stocks. You have to pay taxes on those free stocks. I shouldn't glare like that. I'm really grateful for that opportunity to make a little extra money. By the way, I do have Webull linked up above. They are giving out 5 free stocks right now. It's a special like holiday promotion. Those stocks could be worth up to $8,000. So if you've been dragging your feet on Webull and investing, like try it. It's a great introductory way to get in the stock market. Then you're going to have 5 stocks. They might all be different companies. They might be the same company, but then you can kind of like watch what they do. Like on days that the stock market has a good day, did your stocks go up? Why not? On days when the stock market went down, did your stocks go up or down? Like it's a nice, you do have to make like a deposit of like $1 in your Webull account, but it's a good like introductory way to kind of get your feet wet with the stock market if you haven't already. Just my opinion. Anyway, I had to pay taxes on that, and I'm grateful for that opportunity to have made that extra money. Um, but it really depends on how much total income you had, what tax bracket you were in. Yes, in theory, you were taxed on anything above the $10,200. And really, the $10,200 that was forgiven, right? That wasn't included when we filed taxes, that equaled the amount of the $600 boost we got. Everything else, depending on your individual tax situation, you may have I'm reading someone's comment about Spider-Man. You may have owed or you may not have, and that's going to really, really differ from everybody. Andy, I'm not even going to read that, even though it's joking. Oops. Oh dear. Okay. Let's see here. AMC got the exclusive 45 days exclusive rights for Disney and other films for 2022. I had not heard that. I will check since I do YouTube sporadically. I need to make a real video, but I had not heard that they got the exclusive rights for Disney for 2022 for 45 days. Usually that's all theater chains, and they're just saying that Disney won't stream anything, but that all theaters would have the opportunity to stream to play a movie in theaters for 2022 without it also be streaming during those first 45 days. I don't think that's exclusive to to AMC movie theaters. I think that would be any movie theater chain, but I will double check that since I work in the movie industry, and that I should be able um to find out. If so, that would be huge for AMC, but I don't think that's it. I think it's just that I don't think that was a deal that AMC put together. They may have put pressure on Disney to agree not to stream things in the industry. We call it day and date. Disney may have agreed not to stream anything on the same date for 45 days after it's played in theaters, but I don't think that's exclusive to AMC. Now, AMC is one of the largest chains, so certainly they may have put pressure on Disney to agree to that, but I don't think that it's like, oh, like so I don't work for AMC. I don't think it's like you can see Encanto at AMC for 45 days, but it wouldn't also be playing at my theater. I think it'll be playing at Regal, Regency, Limley, ArcLight, Landmark, Regal, Cinemark, Alamo Drafthouse. I think the Disney films will be in all of those theaters as well, in addition to AMC, but I will double check that. That would be huge. Again, we wouldn't see those profits. That would probably be very profitable for them, but we wouldn't see those profits for AMC in the fourth quarter. Those would show up in the first quarter of next year. Okay. Give us another stimulus. That would be nice. Merry Christmas, Mayor Bear. It's so good to see you in here. What are you up to in terms of work? I know that you had kind of expressed interest in helping Jenny Silver and perhaps being one of her assistants when she posted that she was looking for people. Are you back in the workforce and what are you doing these days? And Mel is saying, like the video. Ben also says, give us another stimulus. That would be nice. Joel, guess who will never pay better? Uber. Example, passenger pays $50 for a trip and I only get 20. Truly disgusting. Yeah, when I drove for Uber back in 2014, I found that I was making less driving Uber than minimum wage, basically. And I don't know if that's just that I sucked at driving Uber, but yeah. Okay. Mel is saying, sounds like the cold calling will help people and be lenient. My contact at the EDD, he really did indicate that they wanted to work with people on PUA. He made it seem like, ugh, we don't want to be dealing with this either. And the only reason why we are is because the federal government is making us. Obviously, he didn't say that, but that was kind of the tone of the email, right? And they always say you can't read tone in email, but he really said, like, we're not doing this. This isn't verbatim, I'm paraphrasing, but he really said, we really want to work with people. You know, they know how difficult this was. They know that they don't necessarily have the manpower for, an individual to look over all these claims. And yes, it sounds like they're trying to make it easier on us as people that are being asked to provide PUA proof of work and make it easier on themselves, right? That's often a business's motivation for doing anything is it benefits them. That benefits the EDD if they can make it easier. It benefits the court system if the court system isn't tied up doing a lot of appeals. Guys, I got to get going soon. I want to remind everybody again that this is a silly money saving tip. This is why I'm wearing the Taco Bell shirt today. I actually did make a TikTok about this. I love Taco Bell and I love saving money and investing money. Best like holiday, Christmas money saving tip, in my opinion, if you like Taco Bell or if you know somebody that likes Taco Bell. Probably most people do not like Taco Bell as much as me. You're in the drive-through, you're going to get yourself a combo anyway. You are going to say, do you have the promotion where if I buy a $25 gift card, and how cute is this little guy? It's a little Christmas taco. But anyway, I digress. You're going to say, do you have the promotion where if I buy a $25 Taco Bell gift card, I can get a free combo? And then hopefully they say yes. You say, okay, can I choose any combo? And hopefully, again, they say yes. Some of them don't quite know how the promotion works. But hopefully they say yes. You're going to say, okay, I want the $25 gift card. May I also have combo number one? They're going to give you combo number one for free. And all you're going to pay that day, if it's just you in the car that's ordering, is for the $25 gift card. They're probably going to struggle with it once you actually get to the window to pay, but free combo. And I feel like the combos are like $10.15 right now. So that's like a super good deal. So you're getting $35 worth of product for $25 if you like Taco Bell for the holidays. I should get a P.O. box and then be like, guys, send me Taco Bell gift cards. Okay, let's see here. Just stop driving for Uber. They're evil. That is kind of true. Liz says Adam Aaron is the CEO of AMC, said on Twitter that they have exclusive rights to show Disney and Paramount films for 45 days. I got to Google that. If that's true, that's huge. And that's bad news for the other chains. I got to look into that. Did he say theaters or did he say AMC? How long ago was that tweet? Liz, you got me thinking about that tweet. But Liz, I love that you invest. So that is awesome. And I'm glad that you're researching what you're investing in. That makes my heart happy. Penny says, You'll vote for me and my mom to do a live Christmas. It was very comforting and enjoyable on Thanksgiving. We'll see. My mom's being weird. It's really cold at her house, but she's, like, not wanting to come to my house, so I'm not I work a job where we're open on Christmas Day. My mom is used to not spending Christmas with me. I will definitely be at work on Christmas Day. So I am not sure if I will actually see her Christmas Day. If not, we have our little Christmas traditions. Maybe we'll do that tonight. And just in case you guys are wondering, we usually get French fries from a restaurant called Tops in Pasadena. I grew up a lot in Pasadena, and then there's an area right behind Pasadena, um, off like Sierra Madre called Hastings Ranch, and Hastings Ranch has okay, it's, like, not as great as it was several years ago, but they do, like, really amazing Christmas lights, and each street is themed, so you might go down one street and it's carolers, and the next street is trees, and the next street is snowmen, and the next street is reindeers, and the next street is bells, and the next street is nativity. There are a lot of streets and a lot of themes. You see how this could go on and on, but each house kind of like is supposed to decorate in the theme of their street. Some streets just have like little cardboard cutouts of snowmen tied to the tree, but that's how you know what the theme is on the street. So we go to Tops. They give you this huge order of French fries. It's as small as more than enough for two people. We get that. We each get a junior cheeseburger. So we get a junior cheeseburger. We share fries from Tops. And we drive around and see the Christmas lights. And this year, because of her new hearing aids, I put on Christmas music. The past, like, honestly, like 5 years, my mom has had no idea. I don't think I'll be like, "Can you hear the Christmas music?" And she's like, "No." Um, but I have hope that this year, because her hearing aids are so much better, that she'll be able to hear the Christmas music that I'm playing in the car. So we'll see. But anyway, me and my that's what we do. That's our Christmas tradition. And by the way, guys, pretty low cost. It's not completely free. That cost gas. And it does cost money to eat out, but it's not a chain. Tops is really good though. I think there's 2 locations. And like we're sharing a small fry and we're each getting a junior cheeseburger. I want to say, even with inflation, I want to say it's less than $10 for that, maybe $5 for gas. $15 for like a tradition. I know 15 is too much for some people. Maybe walk around and look at the lights and buy a pack of hot chocolate from the 99-cent store. You guys can really money is not what the holidays are about, to me. And even though I love money, right? I'm like, I love money, but let's do these free things that are more traditions than gifts, right? I think that's more important. And what else did I want to say about that? But we may not actually see each other Christmas. Sorry, mom. Unless you want to come stay with me because it is cold in your house. I'm scolding my mom on my YouTube live because she was like, it's cold and I'm worried about my electricity bill. And I was like, come stay with me for the holidays and then we would be together. And she's like, I don't know if I want to stay at your house all week because I am working a lot this week. We will be busy. So if she comes, I'm not sure when I can return her. Okay. Human in training, you'd rather watch Xmas Live? Either way. All right, we'll try and do an Xmas Live and I'll try and get my mom to come over. Mom, they say come over and that we should do a Christmas Live. Okay. Liz is saying JP Morgan reported this week that AMC and GME, which is GameStop, will squeeze in January. I'm not sure about the whole GameStop thing either, but the meme, right? meme joke stocks, because people bought them because they could see that other like investors and large firms were short selling them. And this has been a lot more about stocks, but I've enjoyed this. Is putting the squeeze on those. I did see that AMC had more people starting to short sell them again. So that could be true. There could be a squeeze. You could see it go up. But if they're reporting earnings, it could cause it to go down. You just never know. I'm not sure, but I work in movie theaters. I want them desperately to succeed, but we've got a lot of challenges. You guys also, if you have any tips for what you would want to see in a movie theater, what would make you go more? I would love to see that. What got me to go to AMC was giving out an NFT. I thought that was cool. Guys, I've been going for an hour and a half, so I gotta go soon. Penny, you grew up around there and did all that. What memories? Loved it all. Yes. Penny, there used to be a Wrigley Mansion, the gum guy, or like Wrigley gum, like Or maybe it was an ice cream guy. I don't know, whatever. The Wrigley Mansion was around there too. And someone else bought and they used to decorate that thing and it was really, really, really cool. Um, the new owners don't decorate it. Jerks. That sucks. Don't break traditions. New homeowners are really cool houses. Also, I have mixed feelings about this. The house, kind of right next door to me, it used to kind of, guys, honestly be like poop brown, but every Christmas they decorated it like a gingerbread house. So for like 1 month, it didn't look gross. And the new owner painted it white, and they don't decorate it like a gingerbread house anymore. That's okay though, because I think it's probably better to have it look nicer year round than to have it look super cute at Christmas. How cute is that? They painted it like gingerbread brown. I should have called it gingerbread brown, but think about the color of a gingerbread man, guys. Um, gingerbread man brown is the color of the house, and it was super cute when they decorated it like that. Okay, how about an end of year mom life? Perhaps my mom is fun and she's funny and stubborn. Okay, and Liz is saying you're up thousands of dollars on investing $1,000 in AMC. I bought some and I sold. This is kind of the story of my life. Okay, you guys, Debbie's going. I think this is a good time to kind of end today. Liz, I haven't seen you in here before, but I loved talking about stocks with you in today's Q&A. So I hope you join me again. I go live every Sunday at 11 a.m. and Monday at 9 p.m. So yep, Debbie, I will be back tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for watching Shelly's Millions. Go get your Taco Bell gift card, get your 5 free stocks with Webull. Learn a little bit about investing, and I'll see you guys next time. All right, bye.